sweetgeorgiapam.com is the website. I want you to bookmark that because this is our last podcast of the year. So we want you to listen to the former shows if you have not caught up. We want you to go to sweetgeorgiapam.com, download a guide that's free. We'll tell you about. Also sign up for a newsletter. We'll tell you why that's important. And she's on social media, Sweet Georgia Pam. I thought for this last podcast of the year that we would talk about the holidays because here we are at the holidays. And for a lot of people, Thanksgiving and Christmas tends to be a very stressful time. Now, it could be good stress or bad stress. It could be the stress of I'm hosting everybody and I'm excited about it, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Or it's people who are dreading seeing family. And, I come from a radio background and we used to have a segment on one of my shows, which we would have a member of our show reinterpret people's emails about their holidays in chaotic, dramatic, negative, argumentative, whatever it was. And we would make a joke out of it, like, you're not alone if you dread the holidays.
Nice.
I know that is there. And I just was hoping that maybe you could give some insight for people on how their dreams could help them get through the holidays, or what their dreams could be telling them how they're handling the holidays.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to my happy place. Like, oh, that's such a good topic. Because it's in the vein of dreams, but it's also in the vein of good, deep inner work. And I'm like, that's yum, inner work. Because it's lasting change, right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, that's what
got me so excited. I can't sit in my chair.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, you just saw her just knock her camera over. No, but if I reiterate most every episode that dreams are there to help you learn about yourself.
Yeah,
and so I think that if you use it as a tool, you'd even be better off in times like these next few months that might not be something you're looking forward to.
Well, and dreams might be more readily accessible to you during this time, because we are, again, we've talked about this before, we're changing our patterns when we're traveling or staying with family, or maybe we're sleeping in one morning, or have a more nap in the afternoon. Like, all of those things are going to actually encourage your dreams to be more readily available for you to recall them, to remember them. And so if you go into the holiday season going like, oh yeah, maybe I'll pay attention to my dreams this time, they're going to show up for you. So, like the inner shopper in me is like, go get a fun new blank journal just for this time. I have probably 100 journals, and I like them when they're brand new. And then after I'm more than halfway through, I don't like them anymore because I'm afraid I'm going to run out of space. And so I go get a new one. Woo! Like an excuse to go get a new blank journal.
There's always those blank pages at the end. That's true.
Is it true for you?
I do the same thing. I don't know if I've ever gotten to the last page of a journal. That's hilarious.
I wouldn't be able to stand that if I were on the last 5 or 10 pages. So once it's like, close to the end, whatever that means for me, I'm like, that one's used up now, and go get another one. So yes, so that's such a great invitation for our listeners to plan to write your dreams down during the holidays. They're going to be more available to you if you are paying attention to your sleep health, which you should. And they're going to have a lot more to say right now because of complicated feelings during the holidays. Everybody has had such a shift in the last 3 years of tradition for themselves. We've all been through it. And so even in my family this year, last year was more traditional than this year is because I feel like this is off topic, but a little bit on topic. I have noticed that it seems like we went into pandemic shutdown and survived that. Like, okay, we're doing everything different. Nothing is the same. And then as soon as we could, we came out of it and tried to do everything the same as much as possible. And it feels to me, at least in my circles, like now we're going, what's a good hybrid?
Yes. I think that we
That
realized it changed us. I think the pandemic changed us, and I think that we have to find our new normal, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, and it's like at first we tried to rebound back to where we were, and
Right.
for whatever that means for anybody, right? But for me, it was like everything the same. Remember, nothing's changed.
Well, yeah, we're back to normal, but we aren't.
But now we're like, oh, we're trying to integrate a little bit more of what has changed into tradition. So that might show up in the holiday season, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of material, emotional material for your dreaming mind to use to look at right now.
And also, well, you think about too the tug and pull of tradition, depending on who you're gathering with. And then for those who aren't gathering with anybody, that's the other thing is I think that the holidays, I don't know, for me, like it's supposed to be it's the happiest time of year for me to prepare for it. And now that I have my young son, it's been very fun the past few years. But I gotta say that it's I don't know, the difference of interpretation of what should be happening among family members usually ends up being a source of stress.
Oh, you're so right. And I don't want to paint this episode as we're all going to enter into chaos right now, but I also want to acknowledge that when you re-engage with old family dynamics, that brings up a lot of issues that are then again rich material for your dreams to help you process.
Right. Right.
So it might be amazing and wonderful, your whole family dynamic experience when you weren't expecting it, but it means that you had some panic and some anticipation
Could be
of
panic for
something
some, but
differently. It might be panic, right? And if it's repressed, then that's really going to show up in your dreams. So your dreams tend to show you the emotions that you're not making space for.
and let me, and
One
if you
way
don't
that
mind,
yeah,
and I'm not trying to pile on all these different scenarios because again, it's not all bad. Some people have fantastic holidays, but also I know in some of my circles as we get older, for those of us who are a little on the older side, um, that sometimes the holidays gathering with family, as wonderful as it is, but you see the aging process of some of your elders. So I've known friends, and including myself, who've lost mothers the past couple years, and so and seeing the decline in other members. I have another friend who has a family member who now has Alzheimer's, and seeing that
mhm,
decline. So I
mhm.
just, it's just the fact, and tell me if I'm wrong, that the holidays tend to, again, put you out of your normal cycle. You're doing something completely different. And if you're a part of a dynamic where there is also some kind of stress, or like you said, an anticipation that may not be positive, that is going to reflect in your dreams.
Yes, you're so the way that they talk about it in intellectual circles is that dreams are compensatory in nature, meaning they can compensate for your psyche being out of balance. So if you're way too negative in waking life, you might have a super positive dream. It's inflation, deflation of the ego. So if you're way inflated in waking life, you might have a dream that helps you deflate and like come back to humility
Right.
because of what's in your dreams. So dreams are going to be always sort of not always, can be balancing out your ego or your psyche or your fears or they compensate for whatever's going on in waking life because you're making space for certain things in waking life and the other things are being repressed and building in pressure underneath the surface. But it's like the analogy that's coming up is rich soil. It's fertile ground for personal growth, for truth telling, like being honest with yourself, and for new hope.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in the holidays, right? So there
Yeah.
is this spirit of hope that enters in. And you could actually record your dreams and then use that personal reflection to set New Year's resolutions that make more sense or that are more, uh, not more intentional, but more intimate and accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the New Year's resolution doesn't stay on that ego level of, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to finally drink enough water. Maybe your New Year's resolutions can become, I'm going to work on the family dynamic that I have surrounding my, uncle's addiction or whatever it happens to be. You could use your dreams to sort of drive that New Year's resolution setting.
Mhm. Now, is there a way, I don't know, I mean, because I know this is generic. It depends on somebody's, personal experience, their dreams, and this is what, Sweet Georgia Pam's one-on-one sessions are about, where she can dig deep into emotional attachments, like she can really get into your dreams, which you can give as a gift, by the way. sweetgeorgiapam.com. But thought also is, again, as you go through the holiday process, I mean, the dreams could change. Like it could be like almost like this storyline going through the next couple months. If you really, like you said, if you journal these dreams and really see what's happening, it could really give you some insight on, and like you said, on the honest way that you're responding to whatever's going on with you in
Yeah.
that space.
Yeah, judgment free, because dreams are unfiltered. So, they're always trying to tell you the truth, but it's a version of the truth that you're going to know when you see it. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, I have been doing that. Or, yeah, I did maybe respond a little bit, differently than I should have. Or you're going to see that your dreams are kind of companioning you along the
Mhm.
way and going like, here's a pretty honest reflection of what's going on around you and within you, and maybe how you can handle it. So but in both positive and negative ways,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Because you could find somebody, I mean, you could be around somebody during the holidays and you're like, "Oh, I never saw you that way before." I mean, you know what I mean? So, holidays are not always bad. I'm just, but I just know for a lot of people, the idea of what I mean, again, you get in this pattern, especially if you're in a family dynamic, you get in a pattern of what to I know what to expect this holiday. Doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna happen, but in your
Mhm.
mind, in this cycle, you've trained
Mhm.
yourself to think, you think of a family member, okay, well, because there's always one family member that you tend to like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it may not do nothing bad may happen.
Right. Okay. So the other thing that I want to introduce here too, that's going to kind of help us make sure that that we focus on the positive as well, and is, I'm trying to be a little bit careful because I'm bringing up spirituality. I know that freaks some people out, but whatever, it works for me. That's where dreams take me to, is this deep inner experience. So holiday season, the seasonal change around you is infused with spirituality. It
Mhm.
is, in many cases, faith based, no matter what complicated feelings you may have or experiences you may have with any one particular religion or faith, or with no faith. There is a spirituality that enters in during the holiday season that you can actually set some intention. So there's this practice called dream incubation, which
Okay.
means I'm going to ask my dreams for specific information or for specific guidance on this, that, or the other. Um, and I would like to invite our listeners to use this time, the holiday season, if you're going to be keeping a journal of your dreams, and if you kind of want to track your dream activity, to also maybe set some intention for some spiritual truths to come through, or for some spiritual guidance to come through. Or, we had that episode already that we talked about with like, animals as messengers,
Yeah.
and angel guidance coming through and all of those things. So you could invite that in as well. And you can actually, laying down, going to sleep, you can be pretty practical about it. Go, hey, dream self, I know I know you're going to show me my complicated relationship with my dad, my brother. Great, fine. But could you also throw in some divine stuff too? Give
Mhm.
me a little bit broader perspective. You can ask for help. So that's also the piece that is really exciting for me, for the listeners. If you're gonna tend to your dreams anyway, ask for some deeper learning that is coming from whatever source is your source. Even if it's the great unknown, whatever, loving energy of the universe, whatever it happens to be. And then when you're recording your dreams, you will have that focus as well. So it'll help you again going forward. Not only what is my waking life issue, these are the two questions, but what is the commentary that the dream is now providing on that issue? There's new information coming in your dreams, even if it's a reflection of an old truth.
I love it. And then if you happen to be the person who is not excited for the holidays, at least this gives you an assignment, something to focus on that
Mhm.
maybe will distract you enough to where you can have a good holiday. And again, that's not everybody, but I get from my experience in morning radio, it was a lot of people. But we do hope you have a fantastic holiday. Like we said, we are taking the holidays off, and we will have some extra commentary. We'll have some bonus material that we'll post here over the next couple weeks. But otherwise, we hope you have a fantastic holiday season. Pam, I hope you have
Yeah.
a fantastic holiday.
Oh my God, you too, my dear friend. I feel like we're going to be talking anyway during the holidays,
Of
just
course,
connecting with each other.
because
But
we're friends in real life. So yes.
we are friends in real life. So I hope comes across. But also to all the listeners, I just want to say thank you so much for finding interest in this, for tuning in and listening to us while we unpack these crazy concepts that are so meaningful to me that I just can't, I can't stop my mouth from like shouting out more words about dreams and spirituality. And it means a lot to me that you all are tuning in, that you subscribe to the show, because my hope is that you learn over time. You know, you can't get it from just one dream or one symbol, but over time you start to recognize how it works, how the dreaming mind has its own language. It's not logical, but it does have a set of guided rules that it works by. And if you've picked up on any of those, like, done, I've done my job. I want you to be able to do this kind of work on your own. Um, so practice over the holidays and then come tell us about it.
I'm telling you, when somebody's into something, it's contagious, and Pam is dedicated to dream work. You can tell. And that's why I'm so excited to be a part of the show, too, because I wanted to make sure that Pam finds her audience and it gets the recognition she deserves. SweetGeorgiaPam.com is the website. Free downloadable guide called 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall. Go ahead and download it for yourself and download it and give it to other people. This is gift giving season and serving season. And also, don't forget, she does one-on-one sessions. You can also give that as a gift to yourself or to your friends. You can find out all of that information on sweetgeorgiapam.com. And then you can find her on social media. DM her, Sweet Georgia Pam, if you have any questions during the holidays. I mean, I have a feeling you'll be on social media during the holidays. So if you have any questions during the holidays on how to guide you through that, just DM her and she's happy to be there for you. So, Pam, my love, happy holidays, happy new year, and we'll see you next time.
Happy holidays to you too. Sweet dreams, everybody. Get some sleep, get caught up. We'll see you in the year.